All right, everybody, how y'all doing? I hope everything's fine. I'm sorry if my voice is raspy, and let me know if the sound is good or not, if there are any issues. Here's the thing. So I've seen one sec. All right. Hey, I hope you heard me. Let me know if you did. Anyway, I was saying, so so Ireland had been in the news for some time now, and I actually thought about doing a video on Ireland when you had all the demonstration erupting, like I think a week ago or so. And I was saying, I'm sorry if my voice is raspy. And the other thing, I'm hoping the sound is good. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Anyway, so here's the thing. Where I've been away for a little while. First, because there's events that meant that I couldn't be online. And then I've been working on a project that I'm going to explain in a minute. And then later I was sick. That's why I have a raspy voice. Maybe right now. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. And I've seen that, congratulations, Ireland, you have a president, which I will share the truth, where I didn't really check how the parliamentary system or how the governance system is in Ireland. But Ireland's leader, new Irish president, what's her name, Catherine Connolly. All right, it's a very interesting coincidence because I had no idea who she was, and I didn't know she was running for presidency. I discovered that she was elected to be a president today, actually 10 minutes before this video started, which is amazing. Let me explain. All right. So I've been working on a project for some time now, and I really would like you guys to also join and volunteer. There is a link, the first link in the description below is a form where you can sign up, and I'll explain what the mission is. So for some time now, and I think we can all see it and feel it. And, you've seen, I don't know if you've seen my videos on critical thinking. This is my initial reasoning or theme of the channel years ago. I was like, where is the critical thinking? People seem to not have critical thinking. That's what, and they made videos about that. Then, I wasn't very serious about it, but and then later on with time, I had my interview with Eyal Yacobi, where he was like, he's fighting like, fiercely against the anti-Semitism in the United States and all over the world. And he uses his voice to fight anti-Semitism. But even talking to him, I realized that there is a problem. There is a real problem here. And I really, I thought something is weird. And I, of course, linked it to the lack of critical thinking. And so I had that clue. And another clue that we had at hand is the erasure of identity. So not only are people lacking critical thought, they also seem to don't have any self. The identity is pretty weak, very easily overridden. And a couple of weeks ago, when after Sukkot, I had just the thought, I just thought, guys, I wish people just asked more questions, like curiosity and research, and people just being curious and checking stuff and asking questions. And the more I delved into the subject, the more I realized what was going on. So let me explain what happened. First of all, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the sentence, I am, I think, therefore I am, cogito ergo sum, that René Descartes had described when he was one of the pioneers of the scientific method that had led to many discoveries, where he had realized that what we observe is through a distorted lens, as in it is what we see, the observation that we have is what is limited with and to what we can observe. And it's not necessarily that everything outside is what we can perceive. And then here's the interesting part, right? But this is not the full sentence, because he starts with blah, 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 blah. I doubt, therefore I am. I doubt before, or what is the same, I think, therefore I am. So it's not I think, therefore I am. The other way to say I think is I question, therefore I am. And what is, and what is another beautiful identity and questioning are neurologically linked. So people who question have a stronger sense of identity. People who don't question don't have enough it's linked. The self-reference and the questioning and critical reasoning, they're all linked together. They are they activate sequentially in our brains. It means if I think, therefore I am, the question and the thought and the ability to ask is who we are. This is when we reference ourselves. This is the identity that we actually have. And so I've realized, and so I was wondering, what is it that the USSR, the Qataris, and the Chinese, and everybody that was pouring money in the academia and the professor had done? Here's what they had done. They took questioning out of curriculum. So it used to be a protocol that I had this conversation with Eyal Yacobi, and I asked him, hey, don't you double check your professor? And he said, are you crazy? What do you mean? And I said, doesn't your professor start the lecture by saying, hey, question me, check the data, don't trust anything I say, check the sources? And he's like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? And then I had a very similar conversation with somebody who studies political science here in Israel that is Turkish, just to understand if am I crazy, or is he like limited in his understanding of the world? And guess what? I did some research. How does Cadence Owen say it in a way that makes people like, here is this, I don't know, here is, oh my God, you're not going to believe what I found, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't watch her. I only watch people who watch her and then comment. But I kind of want to know what tricks is she using to suspend, the suspense, whatever. So the the thing here is that when I had voiced my concerns to a group of students here, one of them said, what do you mean they don't say question me? It's like a protocol. Every professor says that in the beginning of semester and the lessons. Everybody knows that. It's tacky. It's like a protocol. It's something they have to say. And then it hit me. Is it a protocol that they have to say? And then I did my research, and it was the protocol all over the world. It was the protocol in the 50s and 60s, and it was gradually taken away from universities in the United States on purpose to create zombies that don't have an identity and they cannot question because it's linked. They took the ability to ask questions away from students and from children, and they took their identity away because those things are at the same spot in your brain. And by doing so, they managed to create people who are susceptible to bullshit. So what we're seeing now is that left or right, people don't think. They don't think. They find a cult and they protect everybody in that cult, no matter what they say or what they do. And it doesn't come from them. It's just that their brains were rewired. They were rewired from independence to cult thinking by, let me show how, because this is where Ireland comes in. You see, I didn't know who Catherine Connolly is when I encountered a very interesting fact. about this person, and I added that to my very interesting clips on how they took people's identities away and how they turned them to unthinking zombies. That's the way we are seeing right now, in a way that they cannot have a conversation. Because I watch American podcasters, it seems like none of them, not even Ben Shapiro, can have a conversation in a way that would make America great for real. So none of them can do that. And I was like, what do you do to make sure that they would not have it? So first of all, I learned several things. Questioning is a cultural technology. So if you take that technology away, the thing is that you teach people from generation to generation what kind of questions you have to ask, in what sequence, in what order, in what manner. Because if you don't learn it, it's not just why that we have automatically in our brains. It's a cultural thing that you're supposed to be taught how to ask questions. What question do you ask first, second, and so forth, and so on and so forth. And if you stop that, if you don't teach, then it's technology, right? It's something that you're not born with. It's something that you are. It's like if you don't teach a child how to read, they're not going to know how to read. If you don't teach your children how to question, then they're not going to know how to question. Not in a sense that they wouldn't know how to say why. There are questions that appear neurologically, as we grow automatically, but those are not the type of questioning that could actually bring real life results. There are real life questions that advance science and advance the humanity and make you actually a strategic long-term thinker. And those questions are questions that were developed and refined and taught from generation to generation, and they're just as much as a technology as anything else. And then this is where I realized the one thing Jews have, the one advantage that Jews have that the Gentiles don't. The questioning system in Judaism is unique, and it is combined with the Western way of questioning. And this is why Einstein, for example, could have come up with the relativity theory, because he had a Jewish yeshiva style thinking as he grew up a religious Jew. So when you grow up from a Jewish tradition culture, then in the first several generations, you retain the questioning style of Judaism. And it's a very unique questioning style that allows you to be extremely creative and in your science research. And it's literally, if you do not ask a question in a Jewish style, then you're not going to find relativity. And that blew my mind. I was like, this is, because I was trying to understand. It's not IQ. I'm telling you, Jews are not that smart. All right. It's not IQ. It's not anything. It's not how good they are with studying. They're not good with reciting. They're not with IQ. They don't have such a strong educational tradition as people think they do. They don't. I saw other traditions that emphasize education way more than Jews do. But there is one thing that I've never seen anywhere else, and that is the questioning technology that Judaism has. And then I tested it. And I asked people who are very smart from all over the world who are not Jewish about what kind of questions do they ask. And then I asked the same, Israelis and Jews, and they all gave the same answer. And when I told the non-Jews, hey, what about this question? It was as if their mind was blown that this question, they were like, so simple, but yet so genius. Why have I never asked myself this question? And that is because they're being taught not to ask this specific question, which is the selfish question. The selfish question that Jews ask themselves and Gentiles are taught not to is, what do I get out of it? And it's not exactly that, but it's like there are a lot of refinements, and it's not the only thing. There is a lot more than that, because there is a whole world of how the questions are built in Judaism that I have discovered. But not only that, methodology of Western thinking and questioning was not taught, right? The thing of, hey, double check me, don't believe everything I say, it was taken away from universities. They had to remove a protocol. They removed it from the protocols. Another thing that was mandatory in universities is to study mathematical logic. You remember the video that I made about you cannot debate without math? Well, apparently I was not such a genius. I was like, this is the one thing that I was like, how can you do debates without learning math? Logic and the foundation of debate is based on the mathematical branch of logic, which is math, because computer science is built on logic. So I know it's math. So how can you debate without knowing it? Well, guess what? It was mandatory. It used to be mandatory. You could not debate without learning mathematical logic. And that was taken away as well. And then I realized they did it on purpose. They by if you take away questioning from a population the way they did in the United States, and I have lots of receipts to prove it, then you actually take not only their ability to do science or question or ask, you take their identity away and you turn them into zombies that would do whatever they were told to do. Because they don't have a strong sense of self. Their self is hollowed. Because if you don't question, there is no me. Yes, I am. I think, therefore I am. It doesn't necessarily, if you know logic, it doesn't necessarily mean that if you are, you think. By the way, it doesn't work this way. Just because A brings to B doesn't mean that B brings to A. But, but you get me. Anyway, let me explain. So Catherine Connolly here. Here's how I got to know her. Here's what she did. She did something very impressive. So, here it is. That's Tommy Robinson. Oh, interesting. But like, it's not the video. Okay, so Catherine Connolly actually had a speech when she talked about how questioning was taken away from the students. But when she went to university, this is how. So the Sheep of Galloway University cheer as Anoch Burke's younger brother is removed by Garda, I don't know what it is, for trying to ask the presidential hopeful Catherine Connolly about his brother being imprisoned for not going along with the gender ideology. And here's the thing. So she only allowed to ask pre-approved questions. And this is what happens when somebody who's outside the approved question asking a question.
Catherine, can we speak? Can we speak? Because you say you're for free speech. These are pre-approved audience. This is a pre-approved question. I'm a law student. I'm a law student here.
Oh. You guys, I forgot to share the screen. I'm so funny. Let's here. Okay.
Catherine, can we speak? Can we speak? Because you say you're for free speech. These are pre-approved audience. This is a pre-approved question. I'm a law student. I'm a law student here. Free speech. Free speech. Free speech. Yeah, I'm a law student here at the University of Galway, and.
So what I did in my research is to backtrack and understand how you create an environment like the way you see here, because they did it in a very sophisticated way, because I want to do exactly the same. So this is where I'm going to say quickly, let's have a moment of a break before I show it again. And I ask everyone to go to the document and let me know that you managed to. So let me do like a survey that says, hey, did you fill out the form? Because I'll tell you, I need your help, because here's what we need to do. We need to do a positivity campaign, an awareness campaign, and some other campaigns, some things will remain confidential. But in the most basic manner, here's what needs to be done. People need to be aware of the fact that a protocol that was a convention, that was a hard truth in educational system of how to create an identity and how to teach, was was basically purposefully erased and removed from the curriculum to create an army of zombies. And basically, I need you guys. I mean, I don't think this is the way I'm going to pass the materials on, but I would really love you to go to the form that is linked below and try to see if you can somehow help with the project. There are several different jobs that I'm looking for, but here's the thing. If we don't reverse it, if we don't reverse the what would they had done, if we don't reverse it and teach it, then we're gonna lose. Because these people that you cannot talk to, you see how they're multiplying, is because their connection to themselves was severed by forcefully, like with a very strict, and I'm making a video that only those who would sign up would watch, that would like the reason I'm doing it like that, only those who sign up would watch it, is because it's going to have some sensitive information from within the brainwashing system on how exactly they did it. So we're gonna do what they did, but to reverse it. But you have to understand that what they did was multi-layered and multimedia, like a multi-channel, and like exactly what so those who would sign up would get the training to understand what exactly they did, and also the understanding how to reverse it. It's very, very, very sophisticated the way it needs to be done for different reasons, but all that information would only be available for those who sign up, because it's sensitive. And if we don't bring a culture of questioning back, right, to our culture, then people are gonna, it's literally as if this is a hack to break people's brain. What they did, they hacked the brain to find a vulnerability, to switch people from humans to soldiers who would do the worst things ever. And it's very, very sophisticated system, which we can fight, but we have to build a network. So what I'm doing right now is I'm also building an entire war room to fight it. If we don't do it, it's going to be extremely, I cannot even, I don't know if you guys understand what would happen if we don't fight back. And really, it's everything we're seeing, is a result of something that is a lot smarter than people understand, because they had by suppressing questioning, they had taken people's selves away. And when people don't have a sense of self, they are willing to do psychopathic things. And this is gonna get worse and worse in our society unless we have a network of people that would do a lot of things. And there needs to be a lot of groundwork, and people need to also aware of what's going on, because it just as it is relatively simple to take people's questioning ability away, it's also not too hard to give it back to them. It just needs to be done, and people need to understand what needs to be happening. So go ahead. I hope you all signed up. Here, let me see. So did you? How do you feel? The form. Yes. I'm. Okay. So yeah, there are the two options. So I hope you guys had all signed up. I'll wait a moment and then I'll show you what they did. So it's I'm saying it like that, but you have to understand that the process to make it happen is actually, it needs to be refined and very sophisticated, because they knew exactly what they were doing. They would also know if somebody is trying to, if somebody is onto them. And if they smell us, they don't have a God. I talk to people in universities, right? So these people who did that, they know what they were doing, and they know exactly why they did it as well. So if they see questions, if we get exposed too quickly or something like that, then it's a problem. So believe me, there's a reason I want it to be a war room and a network, and it's gonna be like a whole. It's a huge operation that I'm working on. So, all right. So Shana, I trust you. You'll all fill out later. So. I see 56% want humanity to fall. All right. Sounds normal. Sounds normal. There is no third option. There is no third option. Liz, I don't know if you are you blind? Are you deaf? What's do you not see what's happening? Everybody's seeing it right now. Everybody's losing their minds. So yes, there is no third option. You're either in or you're dead. And not because of me. So, all right. Thank you. Michael says there is a third option, AI takes over. No, so you see, AI was programmed by people who had a similar mindset. You don't want AI to take over. It's also one of the things that I proved. So, all right. Feel free to share it with people who you think would be are in positions to help. So, all right, let's watch.
Catherine, can we speak? Because you say you're for free speech. These are pre-approved audience. This is a pre-approved questions. I'm a law student. I'm a law student here at free speech. Yeah, I'm a law student here at the University of Galway, and tonight you're here because you want to be president of Ireland. And as president of Ireland, your role will be to represent the people of Ireland. What do you have to say tonight about Enoch Burke, my brother, who was incarcerated?
See how nobody lets him speak. Nobody lets him actually. People are, look.
For his beliefs on transgenderism. Do you believe that religious belief?
See? Look at that. Oh no, where did it go? And you know what's the irony? I'll show you the irony. The irony, if I can find the clip later, I'll find it. Wow, the irony is amazing. Look at
Catherine, can we speak? Because you say you're for free speech. These are pre-approved audience. This is a pre-approved questions. I'm a law student. I'm a law student here at free speech. Yeah, I'm a law student here at the University of Galway, and tonight you're here because you want to be president of Ireland. And as president of Ireland, your role will be to represent the people of Ireland. What do you have to say tonight about Enoch Burke, my brother, who was incarcerated for his beliefs on transgenderism? Do you believe that religious belief should be protected? Do you believe religious belief should be protected? My question, sorry, tonight, just for Catherine, sorry.
Look how she's smiling. the new elected president of Ireland. How she's smiling while security is brought on to drag this guy away, and the whole crowd is cheering. Do you understand what we're fighting against now or not? Because if you don't, honestly, you deserve what's coming.
Are questions allowed, Catherine? These are pre-approved questions. Is this because you say you questions are allowed and you agree with that?
Animalistic. I want to show you, like, this is this the one. Oh, this is the whole. Wait. People laughing. Wait, let's watch that one, but first I really hope I can find the one that also has like the speech that she gave. Oh, that's amazing. She gave a speech about not allowing to ask question. Is that right?
If you think of the first minister, Countess Markievicz, and the next minister was Máire Geoghegan Quinn in 1979, that'll tell you the rate of progress and the figures for violence. I mean, I've stopped using the word domestic violence because I think it reduces what violence is. Violence is violence, whether it happens in...
Yeah, bullshit. Okay. No, I need this specific... Oh, I don't know why I lost it. So sad. So sad. So sad. How do... You know what, like... Okay, watch this while I look for it, I guess.
Catherine, can we speak? Because you say you're for free speech. These are pre-approved audience. This is a pre-approved question.
We'll take one question from you after.
I'm a law student here at I'm a law student here at the University of Galway, and tonight you're here because you want to be President of Ireland. And, as President of Ireland, your role will be to represent the people of Ireland. What do you have to say tonight about Enoch Burke, my brother, who was incarcerated for his beliefs on transgenderism? Do you believe that religious beliefs should be protected?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm putting that again.
My question, sorry, tonight, just for Catherine, sorry. Because you say you questions are allowed and you agree with that.
We approve the question. I don't know why. Yeah. Yep, the smug indignation of these people is disgusting. I look at it, because then you understand only the smugness. Do you think that they don't know what they were doing with how they removed people's brains away and turned them into zombies that would march down the street to whatever cause they're programmed to march for? It's dangerous. Thank you, Stephen, for your support here. Is it identity or is it actual self-respect that the psychology linked to questioning? Identity. Literally identity. Literally like the sense of self. Yeah, thank you for the question. Spooky Shauna, no, it's true. Even if just listening to Jays has changed my thinking, but most Jays don't realize they do it. Jays is Jews. Thank you, Shauna, for support. Your questioning style, right? That's what you're talking about? Yeah. And I want you to know that these people, they knew what they were doing. The kids were programmed. Why, like normal kids, like with from conservative families, like turned into killers, into murderers? How did they do it? Well, they literally took advantage of certain. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. This is so important. If you don't understand what they were doing, you will never understand how to fix it, because it's way more sophisticated than trying to say, oh, Israel is this or Israel is that. No, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's not even about anything that has to do with politics. The people cannot even ask themselves any question. They don't have a self. It's like what they did is so it's so horrific. It's so horrifying. It's so catastrophic. It's so basic. It's so basic that you cannot you cannot fight it based on anything that has to do with any kind of trying to convince ideology. These people need to be taught how to find a self and think for the first time. And only those who are not totally stupefied, zombified, can even help them or do something to change or reverse that trend, unfortunately. Laughing.
She's the one asking her question. So Miss Holly, you have nothing to say. So students have been carried out because they asked a question.
Yes, look at that. Look at what happened. And you need to understand this is how they remove their identities, because it's linked. Dubito argusum. I doubt, therefore I am. And yeah, thank you, Spooky Shauna. Yes, questioning style. Even smart gentles from argumentative cultures do it differently than Jews. YouTube edit. Yeah, 100%. I was so shocked when I discovered it. And I was like, oh my God, you cannot make some. And then I checked and I and why Jews are so overrepresented in science. And I realized, for the most part, they're extremely represented in sciences where you wouldn't get to the discovery unless you asked a Jewish question style, which is insanity. It's like, oh, wow. If you don't ask the right questions, you're never going to find the answer. And which, to me, at that point, I thought was like, do I really want to tell the goys the one advantage that we really have over them, or do I keep it to myself? And then after about 10 seconds later, I was like, sharing is caring. And it's not that I care about me staying alive. And and zombies are scarier than a competition, honestly. I think there is nothing wrong with having fair competition. In fact, it would benefit all of humanity. I don't want the zombies. But also, by the way, also the other thing that I realized, I don't like, if you give away the Jewish style of questioning, you also have to attach it to Jewish morality, because otherwise you're gonna get people who could make a great scientific achievements, but not necessarily that it would be for the benefit of humanity.
Sorry, Miss Holly, are you okay with that?
So John here is saying, Rebecca, the guys have Jesus, you have no real advantage. So tell me, Mr. John, how is 0% of the population getting more than 25% of the scientific Nobel Prizes? How do they get more than 50% of the Turing Prizes? How do they do this if they don't have a real advantage, sir? How? How does Israel have such a way more sophisticated technology and weapon systems than any others in the world? Because the whole world tried to, by the way, here's the fun fact about Ireland. Ireland is the second largest importer from Israel. So Ireland, with all its hate to Israel, imports like crazy from Israel. Why do they do that? Why did Denmark, Spain, and other European, Germany, and other European countries who wanted to boycott Israel and not buy anything from it, which is a tiny, tiny, small country that is very insignificant, all came back crawling with their tail between their legs, saying, "Hey, we looked wide and searched everywhere around the world, and you guys do everything the best. You guys." NVIDIA is now expanding, making the research center in Israel 3 times bigger. Why is it, sir? Is it because of Jesus that you cannot do it, or like, is it why? Is there no advantage here? There is. So maybe, sweetheart, there is something to learn. There is something to learn, because I checked the mechanism of it. If you don't ask certain questions, you'll never find certain answers, and that is obvious in scientific research and advancement and development. And you need to say thank you, dear Jew, for realizing it and letting us guys know and understand how we can also develop stuff. But I'm not going to do it without also teaching Jewish morality, because God knows that those don't always come together. Anyway, so the 10 Commandments, I'm only going to give my formula and explain what Jews do to have all those achievements, to those who would, and I'll test it, who have their 10 Commandments and the 7 Noah's law like engraved into their hearts, together with, I gave you the choice between the blessing. The curse or the blessing, choose the blessing, and the life and death, you choose life. So only those who choose life, choose blessing, have the 10 Commandments and Noah's law as a minimum engraved in them. Will I let them know how to do those things? And I'll be a very, very strict gatekeeper. I promise. I'll break everybody's minds. I know how to break people psychologically. So I don't usually feel like doing it to anyone, but I can if I want to. So I'm not gonna give anything that valuable to people who are immoral. So.
To ask a question after as he wished. The format today is a discussion. It is free-flowing. We took questions from students. They all had an opportunity to put them in.
So here's the beautiful part. There are 2 beautiful things I wanted to show you here. So here.
Our republic couldn't allow questions to be put, and those that put questions were demonized and ostracized.
Yes, our republic didn't allow questions to be put, and those who put questions were demonized and ostracized. Explains a lot, Ireland, explains a lot. I guess it was it's a problem that was existed historically and never went away.
These are pre-approved questions. Because you say your questions are allowed and you
I will put the questions, but more importantly, I want to empower and enable you to realize the power that you have.
Answering questions from a pre-approved list.
I love it that, like, you know what's funny? What I love about this is just she knew that she needed to point it out because she knew what it actually means, what she was reading, right? So sometimes you slip up and you point out your own strategy of taking over the world.
Our republic couldn't allow questions to be put,
Look at
and
that
those that
person.
put questions were demonized and ostracized.
Are questions allowed, Catherine? These are pre-approved questions. Is this because you say your questions are allowed?
I will put the questions, but more importantly, I want to empower and enable you to realise the power that you have.
Answering questions from a pre-approved list.
Susan.
Our republic
It's
couldn't.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Just puts me speechless. Rebecca, answer this. Do you think we landed on the moon? Or yes or no? You're so into Einstein. John, sweetheart, I know you were never taught how to actually ask questions. But let me explain to you something, all right? This question leads you nowhere. It's a stupid question. It's a useless question. Because here's the thing. The answer of whether or not we landed on the moon depends on the data somebody had been presented with, all right? So what is the purpose of this question? Is there like some data you are privy to that would debunk the claim that we landed on the moon? Because I'll tell you something else. You know, when you start asking a question and you to understand what does it mean, right? What would it mean if there are so many countries who had faked a moon landing? What would it mean about the society? Do you know what would be the consequences of believing that it's not true? This is what I say. Sometimes the price of not believing something is so high, and it's not worth it because you don't have a way to counteract the consequences of such a breakage of trust in society when asking questions like that. If you have with this question also presented a methodology to rebuilding trust in society after such a devastating, claim, that I hope you have the receipts to prove as well, by the way, John, because I don't know, maybe you feel like you probably don't because you don't know how to ask questions. So I don't know how you can bring receipts if you don't know how to ask questions. So, anyway, you can skip the signing part. Please don't sign up. Let's not waste anyone's time. So except for John, everybody else I expected to sign up. I mean, everybody who knows that their thinking and is similar to John's, as in non-existent, and they like, or they have like an imaginary pony that they believe in, and nothing would change their mind about their imaginary pony that they believe in. Then please, don't waste my time, right? Thank you.
Couldn't allow questions.
So it's not that your question is not allowed. It's just that it's wasting my time, honestly. And if you know something, if you think you want to argue about did the moon landing happen or not, go find someone who is an expert in the field that would have a lot more knowledge than I do. It's just not my you can ask me to prove something that is in the realm of my expertise. Moon landing is not one of them. So I'm just going to tell you. There is a continuation here, apparently.
Can I ask a question, Anthony? You were talking on Joe Bromley yesterday about the importance of questions and debate and all that. Catherine, can we ask a question?
Can I ask you a question, Catherine? Sorry.
Sorry, Catherine, the questions you said on Joe Brolly yesterday, that all questions should be allowed to be asked freely.
Can we ask
Catherine is
questions?
here surrounded by Gardaí.
I'm a student at the University of Galway. I'd like to ask you a question. Is there no way there, please? We can't just have a talk here, no? No debate, no?
No, she's protected by the Gardaí. There she is. She drives off.
Can I ask you a question, Catherine? I'm a student of...
I don't know. I didn't watch it before. So.
These are pre-approved questions. You say you support...
No, she's protected by the Gardaí. There she is. She drives off.
For free speech. Can I speak?
It's amazing. I mean, it's real heroism. His brother was thrown into jail for speaking up. He didn't like go on genderism. Transgenderism is a stupid ideology. Can you believe it? Like,
Genderism. Do you believe that religion...
and he stands up and he defends the honor of his brother. Honestly, so you see what the problem is? So out of this room, they're all mindless zombies, just like John in the comment section. So John, you see, you are the majority. So at least you can find some, songs in that, right? So at least in that room, you'd be one of the sheep. So you see what the problem is? We're gonna have to find this student and the other student who talked about asking questions. So we're in this whole room, there is one dude and one girl that are worthy of anything, honestly. I need to be part of the counter manipulation network that we are building. So you see why I'm asking for your help. It's going to be a very meticulous, very hard process, very, very picky. So it's gonna be like a network. I need you guys, all you guys help. You are one person, you probably only know a couple of more people who actually still have a thinking brain in them, all right? So this is why I say I need your help. In a whole room, right? Even among my crowd, we have people like John. So in this, I believe that I choose to believe that my audience is mostly like the people there's this guy and then the girl that asked later about the questioning. So I choose to believe that this is most of my audience, right? But even so, we still have the Palestinian, Syrian, and John and Lambi in my comment section. So clearly, we also have those who sit down even here. So look at that. It's two people in a whole crowd. Two people in a whole crowd that can be part of the network. And if we don't find these people, we're doomed. Because this, believe it or not, we can flip that whole crowd if we manage to tell those people, if we manage to reach them and tell them exactly what needs to be done to flip them, right? Just like they were hacked in order to make sure that their sense of self is being plucked out of them by a very sophisticated wording and technical, like psychological onslaught on them since childhood. We can do that again. We can do something that would reverse that and would or prevent it for the next generations, right? But they need to know what needs to be done. But it's only these two guys in the whole room, this one guy and one girl, that in this whole room, this whole lecture hall, that we need to find and tell them. And if they don't do anything, then we don't have access to these people. That's it. That's a whole squad here of soldiers that could go slaughter, kill, and murder, rape without thinking twice. They all would. You saw how they were laughing then when this person was taken out. This whole hall, right, is gonna be they will murder and rape and kill without thinking twice. Okay, so we need to find this guy and that girl to give them the tools to reverse the situation. And if we don't, that university, there are dangerous things that would come out of it, all right? So when I say that you are either in or you want to see the world burn, I mean it. I'm not lying. I know what I'm saying. And not only that, it is your job to find the one person in the whole room and make sure that they join. because every person you don't add, right? You need only these two. These two could flip that room if they knew how. If they knew how, they would flip the room. But if you don't reach them, then you have a whole squad of an army that you would have to fight in the unpleasant way. And you see where it's going. Don't you see where it's going? You have to be stupid to not go where it's going. And if you're stupid enough to not know where it's going, you're not the two guys in the room. So everybody else who understands, all the thinking people that you know, contact them right now. Contact them, prepare them, say, hey, there is something that is coming. Just so you know. Every person that has a brain that you know of. All right? You must find them. You must. Because these two could flip a room. A person with a brain could flip a room. But they need to know how. And just so you know, the way they managed to do this from the first place was a very small room of people who planned it, who were scientists, who were very smart, who knew psychology, and they had infiltrated everywhere. And I know how that, and it started just like what I do right now. It started with a very small group sitting in a room and building a strategy. And it's all connected. No, and that like they don't just do it out of nowhere. Like they didn't stop saying question me and remove those protocols and remove logic from the universities without somebody planting the idea in their minds in a very sophisticated way, in a way that was planned ahead of time. And you have several methodologies that do it. First of all, you have Islam, which their methodology is written in their hadith. And you can see my videos that I have with Takia. So you have that system of infiltration. And then that is combined with a system of infiltration, which is even more sophisticated, of the USSR, which I also am a little bit privy to because this is where I was born and my family was resisting them. And my mom's uncle was like a very famous physicist. So I've heard the stories of how they did things from the inside as well. So they go and they do something, and it starts with just people building a strategy, and then one by one. But we have truth on our side, and we have truth on our side. Then I really truly believe that all we need to do is to allow people to dig. Just give them a shovel, right? Because they're gonna dig, and whatever they find, that's gonna be the truth. And the truth is on side. We don't need to sell an ideology. We don't need to sell an ideology. We just need to force people to start digging. And it's not straightforward. It's actually a very, very sophisticated mechanism that we need to figure out. I have the layout, the start of it, but we need that network. We need every free thinking, independent person we can find, or we're doomed. You saw that room, you saw them cheering. That's Ireland. And that person, that evil person that knows what she's doing, she knows what she's doing because she's not hypocritical, right? It's not just she read it just because and then she does it herself. You think she doesn't know what she's doing? Oh, she knew. She's just an evil, very evil person. So who said something is wrong with some? Samuel Nimley, what's wrong with me, Rebecca? I don't know. Why would I know? I didn't check you. I don't know. All right. So sign up. And what else do I have to say about Ireland? Other than it's not just Ireland. It's everywhere. It's not just Ireland. It's like, look at America, look at the Conservative Party, look at everything that's going on. Doomed. It's just the psychological assault that was done to generation, especially Gen Z, but also before. Even when they try to go back to being conservative, they fuck up. They fuck up miserably because they never learned how to be an independent human being, not in a sense that they make money, in a sense that they think for themselves and they have an identity. So this is where we're at, and thank you. Is there anything, by the way, you guys, I feel like this video about Ireland, but is there anything specific about Ireland that you want me to talk about? Because it's, I think that the president got a lot of my attention, right? I found it very interesting. Rebecca, the family, all very outspoken. The mother, especially, she's homeschooling. Are you talking about something specific? Okay, then make them sign up. If they are all like that, then they should all be part of the system, part of the network. White calendar. Rebecca, did you see the post about US nonprofit groups I posted in your Discord? I haven't yet. I'm so sorry. I've been super busy trying to build everything up. And talking to people about it, that yes, I have a lot of things that I need to catch up on. So yes, 100%. I want to hear your thoughts. I know when I deal with thinking people, then you guys are gonna bring a lot of the thought. This is one of the advantages. Like 100%, I expect you guys to use your brains. Michael Feldman, you're right about not asking questions. 100%. If you ask no, it leads into stagnation and severity. Also, nice shirt, quite festive. Thank you. Yeah, I got it. So my parents went to South America for like a month, and this is from the Iguazu, the Falls of Iguazu. Like my mom got it for me. It's really nice, isn't it? I like it. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you so much for the conservatives think being loyal is more important than their opinion. By the way, those who want to. I would really appreciate, by the way, because I'm going to be less online, and this is my job right now, all right? And without your support, I cannot do what I'm doing. So please, if you guys can, buy me coffee or whatever you can, and just write that, so this is for the cause, right? So that I would know, because like this takes a lot of my time, so I'm going to focus on that a lot, but it's so important. Every person I presented it to, every person I explained the situation to, professors, government, there is a party in the UK that asked me to consult them when it comes to education. You guys can guess which UK party I had asked me to do that. So just so you guys know, gifted. Thank you for gifting a membership. And so what am I? Yes, go UK, asking Rebecca. Yep. Not reform. So yeah, so believe me, every person that I showed it to them, and I explained the plan to them, and these are people with brains, let me tell you like that. They were like, ugh, if we don't do this, we die. I tell you this much. So I'm working on it really hard. So if you guys can support it, and we will launch a Kickstarter for the foundation of it. It's very sophisticated what we're gonna do, so it's gonna take time. Rebecca, did you meet? I did meet Tom. I did meet him. Yes, I have. I have met him, and I met some more people. Yes. So. What counts you out, by the way? Amir, I'm poor, Rebecca. I can't support you. Well, Amir, it's like it's not what you're supposed to be doing. What you're supposed is like, you guys, I'm too poor. I cannot support Rebecca, but the cause is so important. Please support it. Please support it. Thank you. We're not Rivka, wrong time at you. True. I like that. Thank you. Anyway, I'm working on it day and night because I want to launch it as fast as possible. But let me tell you that those who saw it, it was like, oh crap. Because because here's the thing. It's a problem. It's not even about what they believe in. It's about the fact that they don't have a core. Scary. Yeah, I am a hard worker. I work so much, you guys. You don't know how much I work. I wanna deny the situation, honestly. And I told my mom, aren't you worried like about the things that are going on? She was like, no, I trust you. Good luck. I was like, Mom. He walks around. No, I'm not gonna worry. I sacrificed my children for that cause already. Here I sent to the army, and my children, some to the army, some to this. I did enough. My mom is very chill about it. She's like, I did enough. I don't need to think about it. Thank you from the poor pastor dummy. Thank you, one. Thank you, one. So. Yeah. So sign up. I want to hear your thoughts. Honestly, I'm working on it day and night. So you're going to see me a bit less. So I really, really, really would appreciate it if you could support me. Because I promise that I'm working my butt off. So yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm happy to hear that my streams have been cheering you up. Please join the cause. It's so important. And there are things that, honestly, even if you don't know how to think, but you understand the importance, right? Oh, thank you, Carlos Rodriguez. By the way, Carlos supports me so much on Buy Me Coffee. Thank you so much. Also, I need to go and say thank you for everybody who had sent money there. I'm being such a awful person with returning to people. When I see when I have a goal, I just think only about that. It's very bad for me. But I will do it. I will do it. And thank you so much for everybody supporting me. And I'm sorry if I'm a bit slow in responding and everything like that. When I realized what's going on, I was like, shit. And then it's like, I'm not going to relax until I feel like this problem is people are understanding and it's been addressed. Yes, I am obsessed. I am 100%. It's what happens when I figure something out and I need to share it with the world. I will not relax until I see, until it's out there, until I feel like, okay, I did my share. So this is where I'm at. So thank you, everybody. Good night. Oops.